Contrary to everyone's belief, the Detroit Pistons will actually look like an organized basketball team this year, and it is because they finally got their franchise guy, Cade Cunningham, some shooters. There's finally going to be some spacing on the floor. Ron Holland, not exactly a shooter, but he's a good project wing. They have their three guards for the future with Cade, Jaden Ivey, Marcus Sasser, and then they got their bigs now. They they went from four pure posts to now they have two posts and then a bunch of good wings. So look, we're going to talk all about that today. It starts with Ron Holland, though, who they got in the draft. He averages about 20.6 points per game, 6.2 rebounds, 3.2 assists, and 2.5 steals in 33 minutes a game in the G League this year. So already as a pro, he's putting up numbers, 44% shooting from the field, 24% from three, not ideal, but I guess, that'll be all right. He can improve that as he goes on. 8.8 points per game, 6.4 rebounds, 2 assists, 1 steal, and 1 block for Azar Thompson, who is the other piece of this young wing duo they have. He also cannot shoot the three ball, so that was a recurring theme throughout this young Pistons core. Nobody can shoot. However, Azar is a freakish athlete, and he can really play defense. Catching lobs right there. These two in transition is going to be fun to watch. Also, you got Sasser, you got Cade throwing lobs. Cade to Azar is going to be a whole lot of fun. That is going to be pure cinema next year. And I'm ready for Azar year two. I think he can work on his jumper. Holland and Azar, that'll be a great duo. If they can ever start to play together, that'll be a lot of fun to watch. Obviously, Azar has insane, freakish hops, but neither one of them can space the floor, so that's the issue right here. However, defensively, that is where Azar shines. Right here, though, as you can see, this is the big issue. Like, Jimmy Butler is below the free throw line while Azar is taking a three. He makes this one, but teams want him to take that shot. He's got to fix that. However, he is a clamp demon. Locking up Bam Adebayo right there. Now he's going to come from all the way across the lane and block that shot. Look at this. Killian Hayes, Pistons legend, is guarding PJ Washington here, and Azar comes from the Hornets logo to block that shot. Here he is in trail coverage on Zach LaVine, and this is just really, really nice defense coming off of a ball screen. I think that's Vooch rolling to the rim, Jalen Duren playing a little bit of drop coverage, and he's able to recover. And then once again, he lets Giddey cut his face, but he recovers for the block. And then here he is, got a few plays of him guarding Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. Shai gets him a little bit, but great recovery. That would have been a heck of a tough shot if he made that. Here he is once again, ISO. Shai gets by at first, but he recovers and sends it back the other way, right where it came from. Now Shai tries to get into his little turnaround, pivot, fade away, and that's a great contest from Azar right there. Once again, tries to get him with the shoulder bump, and Azar takes it away midair. Now, like I said, Azar's a project shooter. Ron Holland is a project shooter, but Holland at 6'8 with a 6'11 wingspan, about 205. He definitely has all the intangibles you're looking for in an NBA player. Very quick first step. I mean, he goes right around. I think that's Kenneth Lofton, so obviously not the best defender in the world, but he goes right by him. And then once again, getting to the cup, little fadeaway, little off-balance shot there. And then, dribbling around, gets to the rim once again. He's definitely a slasher because he has freakish athleticism. Not at all a shot maker, but oh my goodness. In-game is crazy right there. Ron Holland, freakish athlete. Now, Cade, like we said, he's a true facilitator, and he finally gets to facilitate this year. You see the two shooters. He's also got Fontecchio and Tim Hardaway Jr. off the bench. So the spacing is finally going to be there for a guy like Cade, a guy like Azar, a guy like Holland. They love to slash to the rim. And Cade, don't forget, he averaged 23, 7.5, and 4.5 last year, as well as a steal per game. He is great in the pick and roll, and he shot 45% from the field, 36% from three. Not exactly great, but once again, everybody is... their entire attention, their entire game plan is on Cade, and at 22 years old, that's tough. Everybody's packing the paint. Nobody's really, there's nobody that you have to stay up on and be aware of them shooting, at least last year. Now that's changed. Now, if you've gotten to this point in the video, make sure to like button, leave me a comment down below, and hit that subscribe button. As you can see here, a large majority of the people that watch these videos are not subscribed to the channel, so if that is you, go ahead and fix that. And we're trying to hit 200 likes on today's video, so if you could help us out with that as well, it'd be greatly appreciated. Now let's look at the shooters that they've gone out and gotten. Malik Beasley, I don't know if Beasley's going to stay here for a full season. They kind of signed him on a one-year prove-it deal. Maybe they send him off to a contender at the deadline for some future assets. That'd be my guess. But at least for the first part of the season, he can help this development in Detroit. Averaged 11 points, about 4 rebounds on 41% shooting from 3 last year, about 7 attempts per game. That's a really good season for a guy like Malik Beasley, corner specialist, good ball fake series, got a little in-between game as well. But like I said, 1 year, $6 million deal, so probably going to be shipped off at the deadline. We'll see what happens, though. Maybe they extend him long term. Now, Tim Hardaway Jr., he will be here for the length of the season. He has a very bad contract, which is why the Pistons were able to pick him up. 14.4 points a game, 3.2 rebounds, 1.8 assists last year for Dallas. And actually in the regular season, he was their third leading scorer behind Kyrie and Luka. But then once the playoffs came around, he was just out of the rotation because he only shot 40% from the field and 35% from 3 last year on 8 attempts. This is a guy that definitely a volume scorer, not exactly efficient. Never really has been. I mean, there have been stretches where he's been efficient, but he's definitely more of a volume scorer, as is probably Tobias Harris, who pretty good score. I mean, last year he averaged 17 points for the 76ers, as well as 6.5 boards and 3 assists, but he never really got it done in Philly, and he had a massive contract that people were saying was an overpay. He also was not very efficient last year, 35% from the field, 48% from 3 in 34 minutes per game. So he gets a fresh start here in Detroit. Not many expectations, whereas in Philly, every year they were expected to win an NBA title. Now he's on a rebuilding team. They got him for 2 years, $52 million, so I imagine he will be there for the duration of this contract. And they also bring back Fontecchio, who I love this. I absolutely love. This is a great pick. Very under the radar as well was this pickup for Detroit, but they got him at the deadline. He averages 15.4 points, 4.4 rebounds, 1.8 assists in 16 games played for the Pistons last year. So small sample size, but he shot 48% from the field and 43% from 3 on 6 attempts. He is a really good wing to have. Yes, he's older, but they've got him extended now on a 2-year, $16 million contract for the future. So he is definitely going to be here for the duration of that contract and can kind of be here for the changing of the culture. Now, where does Ron Holland fit into all this? Where does Tim Hardaway Jr. fit into all this? Well, I think Holland's probably going to be the backup 3 behind these new additions that they've brought in. Tim Hardaway Jr. probably the 6th man. And where does Jaden Ivey fit into this is the big question. You see those lineups there. Is he the backup? I mean, is he the 6th man? I think he could be very, very good at that. Be a very good scorer off the bench, averaging 15.4 points, 3.8 rebounds, 3.4 assists in 29 minutes last year. This year, he wasn't efficient. 43% from the field, 34% from 3, and you can't have that. Is he going to be the 6th man? That's the big question. I mean, I don't think he's going to be a starter anymore because the fit alongside of Cade, it's proven to be not the best. We'll see what happens, though, because, man, he wasn't great. And then you also have your post presence down low, Jalen Duren, the starting big on this team. Wow, that is bright video. 13.8 points, 11.6 rebounds, 2.5 assists in 28 minutes per game last year. So he's definitely the starting center alongside of Cade, and they'll kind of fill in the wing spots as we go. They got 2 young, exciting wings and then just a bunch of good shooters. It's a very good formula. I really like what the Pistons have done this offseason, and like I said, they will actually be a competent basketball team next season with their doing new additions. They also bring in Holland, like we said. They've got their guards, they've got their bigs, so now it's just time to fill in the cracks in between at the wing spots, and I think that's something that will be done as the year progresses. With that being said, that's going to be it for today's video. Thank you so much for watching. Make sure to like button and hit that subscribe button if you did enjoy today's video at any point. And with all that being said, thank you so much for watching today's video. We're trying to hit 200 likes. Help us out with that, it'd be greatly appreciated, and thanks for watching.